My hands are trembling as I hold this letter. The paper is old, yellowed by centuries. The ink has faded to brown, but the words are still burning. Written in elegant French script, dated March 1785. A desperate plea from a mother to her daughter. My dearest Marie, they are saying terrible things about you in Paris. Please, I beg you, be careful. The people are hungry and angry. Do not give them more reasons to hate you. The letter was never answered, because by the time it arrived, it was already too late. I am a historian. For 12 years I have been studying the French Revolution, reading forgotten documents in archives. From Vienna to Paris, from the Palace of Versailles to the crypts of Saint-Denis, I have researched everywhere. I have read thousands of pages, but when I first read this letter, sitting alone in my office, I cried, because history is not just about chronologies. History consists of pain that was never told. Today I will tell you a story, the story of a woman who went down in history as Madame Deficit, the story of a queen who was hated by the people, whose head was cut off by the guillotine. But the real story is much more complex, much more tragic, and much more human. Marie Antoinette. What comes to mind when you hear this name? A cruel queen who said, "Let them eat cake." A wasteful woman who had no mercy for the people. But what if I told you she never said those words? What if I told you how history judged her? Snow was falling that night, January 1793. Paris was cold. The stone walls of the temple prison were freezing. In a small cell, a woman sat alone. Marie Antoinette, 37 years old. Her hair had turned white, her face pale, her hands trembling. The queen's crown had long been taken. The purple velvet dresses gone. Now there was only a torn black dress. And darkness, too much darkness. There was a small window on the wall. Moonlight filtered through it. Marie looked at the window and remembered. Write in the comments, from which city are you watching this story? And do you think history was unfair to Marie Antoinette? Maria Antonia Josefa Johanna, born November 2nd, 1755 in Vienna, Princess of the Habsburg Empire, the 15th child of Austrian Empress Maria Theresa, one of 15 children, one who was not much noticed. Because they were girls, male brothers were more valuable. But Maria Theresa was smart. She knew that girls could also be used. How? Through political marriages. Little Marie was a happy child. She would run in the gardens of Schönbrunn Palace, play with her dogs, play her piano. Mozart had first seen her when she was 6 years old. Little Wolfgang was giving a concert at the palace. Marie had applauded, smiled, a normal child. But when she turned 12, everything changed. One day her mother called her. "Marie, sit down. I have something to tell you." Marie sat down. She didn't know. She didn't know that day would be the end of her childhood. "You will marry the Dauphin of France, Louis Auguste. You will be the future Queen of France." Marie was only 12 years old. She didn't understand what marriage was. She didn't know France. She didn't know Louis, but she had no choice. Because in the 18th century, princesses had no choice. For 2 years she was trained. French teachers came. You must forget German. You must speak only French. Etiquette masters came. You must walk like this. You must sit like this. You must smile like this. She was trained like a doll. And in 1770, when she was 14, she was sent away, sent to France. There is a letter in the archives. Young Marie wrote to her mother, "Mama, I am so scared. I don't know these people. They speak a language I don't understand well. And Louis doesn't even look at me." Because Louis was strange. He was 15 years old but very immature. He was interested in locks, in hunting. He was shy, he didn't know how to talk to people, and most importantly, the marriage was not consummated for 7 years. 7 years, imagine. A young girl sent to a foreign country at 14, her husband doesn't touch her. Palace gossip, mockery, humiliation. The Austrian woman cannot even make her husband a man. L'Autrichienne. The Austrian. That's what they called her. Not our queen, not Marie Antoinette, just the Austrian, a foreigner. An outsider, someone who didn't belong there. Marie tried to be happy. She would go to parties, wear beautiful dresses, play cards, attend balls. People said, Look at her, she's wasting money. The country is poor and she's having fun. But what else could she do? She was only a teenager. She had been separated from her family. Her husband didn't love her. The court didn't accept her. So she tried to forget. With parties, with dresses. With friends in 1774, Louis XV died. And suddenly Louis became king. Louis XVI, and Marie became queen. She was 19 years old. 19 years old, imagine. A girl who had been torn from her home at 14, now responsible for an entire country. And France was in crisis. Deep crisis. The treasury was empty. Wars had drained everything. The tax system was broken. The nobles paid nothing, the clergy paid nothing. All the burden was on the poor. The people were hungry, angry, desperate, and they blamed Marie. Madame Deficit, that's what they called her. The Deficit Queen, as if she had created all the economic crisis. As if she had wasted all the money. But the truth was different. Yes, Marie spent money on dresses, on parties, on Petit Trianon. But that money was a drop in the ocean. The real problem was the wars, the tax system, the debts of previous kings. But it was easier to blame a foreign queen. In 1785, the scandal happened. The diamond necklace affair. A con woman named Jeanne de la Motte deceived a cardinal. The queen wants to buy a very expensive diamond necklace in secret, she said. You help, she will be grateful to you. The cardinal believed it. He got the necklace. And Jeanne stole it. When the scandal broke, Marie was innocent. She hadn't even known about the necklace. But people didn't believe her. Of course she did it. She loves diamonds. She's a thief. Marie's reputation was destroyed. Forever. Even though she was innocent, even though she was cleared in court, people kept believing she was guilty. This is what propaganda does. Once it plants a lie, the truth cannot erase it. Please like this video and follow. What comes next is even darker, even more tragic. Marie finally became a mother in 1778. A daughter, Marie Thérèse. She was so happy. Finally, someone who would love her. Someone who belonged to her. Then came the sons. Louis Joseph in 1781. Louis Charles in 1785. And two more babies who died. Marie loved her children madly. She would spend hours with them. She would play with them, read to them, dress them herself. The court was shocked. The queen is acting like a commoner. She's touching her own children. Because in the 18th century, royal children were raised by nurses, by servants. Mothers didn't touch them. But Marie didn't care. She wanted to be a real mother. But in 1789, her eldest son, Louis Joseph, became ill. Tuberculosis. For months she watched him die. A 7-year-old child in pain, coughing, fading away. And Marie could do nothing but watch. He died in June 1789, and a month later the revolution began, July 14, 1789. The Bastille was stormed. The revolution had begun, and everything Marie knew, everything she was, began to collapse. At first she didn't understand. This will pass, she thought. The people are just angry. Father will calm them down, but it didn't pass. It got worse. Every day, more violence, more anger. More hatred. October 5th, 1789. A mob of women marched to Versailles. Thousands of them. Hungry, angry, carrying weapons. We want bread. We want the king. That night, they broke into the palace. They killed guards. They tried to reach Marie's bedroom. She ran. In her nightgown, barefoot. She ran through secret corridors. She barely escaped. The next day, the royal family was forced to return to Paris. In a carriage surrounded by the mob. People were shouting, cursing, spitting. Marie looked out the window, and she saw their faces. Faces full of hatred, as if she was the source of all evil. As if she had caused all their suffering. She whispered to her friend, "They're going to kill us. I know they're going to kill us." In Paris, they were imprisoned in the Tuileries Palace. It wasn't officially called a prison, but it was. Guards everywhere. Couldn't go out, couldn't leave. Marie tried to stay calm, for her children, for Louis, but inside she was dying. She wrote secret letters to her brother in Austria, to other monarchs. Please help us. Please save us, but help never came, because Europe's kings were afraid. If they helped, the revolution might spread to their countries too. June 20th, 1791, the escape attempt. The flight to Varennes, Louis and Marie decided to escape. They disguised themselves as common people. They got in a carriage, and they fled at night. The plan was to reach the border, to reach Austria, to be safe, but they were recognized. In a small town called Varennes, someone looked at Marie and said, "That's the Queen. I recognize her from the coins." They were captured and brought back to Paris in shame. In humiliation, now everyone knew. The King and Queen had tried to escape. They had tried to abandon France, traitors. They were running to Austria to bring armies against us. Trust was completely destroyed. Louis and Marie were no longer seen as the King and Queen. They were seen as enemies. August 10th, 1792. The Tuileries Palace was attacked. The Swiss guards were massacred. The royal family fled to the National Assembly. "Protect us," Louis begged. The Assembly arrested them and sent them to the Temple prison. A medieval tower, dark, cold, damp. There they lived for months. Louis, Marie, their 2 children, and Louis's sister, in small rooms, guarded, watched every word heard. Every move observed. Marie tried to keep hope alive. She would play games with her children. She would tell them stories. She would smile, but at night when the children slept, she would cry, silently, so no one would hear. In December 1792, Louis was put on trial. Marie watched helplessly. She couldn't defend him. She couldn't save him. January 21st, 1793. Louis XVI was executed, guillotine, in front of thousands of people. Marie heard the news in her cell. She didn't scream. She didn't cry out loud. She just sat down. Hands stared at the wall. Her husband was dead. Her children were still with her. But for how long? In July 1793, they took her son, little Louis Charles, 8 years old. "No, please don't take him," Marie screamed. She clung to him. But guards pulled him away. "Mama, Mama," the boy cried, and then he was gone. Marie never saw him again because they took him to another cell. They gave him to a cobbler. They taught him to hate his mother. They tortured him psychologically. The boy died 2 years later, alone in darkness. At 10 years old, Marie was moved to the conciergerie, a worse prison, a cell with damp walls, rats, almost no light. They gave her a trial date, October 14, 1793. The trial was a mockery. They accused her of everything: treason, conspiracy, stealing money, and the worst accusation, incest with her own son. They brought little Louis Charles's testimony, forced testimony. "My mother, she touched me. She did things." When Marie heard this, she stood up. For the first time in the trial, she spoke with strength. "I appeal to all mothers here. Is there any mother who could do such a thing?" The women in the courtroom were silent. Even they who hated her couldn't believe this accusation. But it didn't matter. The verdict was already decided: death by guillotine. The night before her execution, Marie wrote a letter to her sister-in-law. Her last letter: "I die innocent of all the crimes I'm accused of. I forgive those who caused my death. I ask God to forgive them. I ask my children to forgive their father's executioners." She didn't finish the letter. Her hand was trembling too much. October 16th, 1793, dawn. They came to her cell. "It's time." They cut her hair short for the guillotine. Her beautiful blonde hair, now white, fell to the floor in clumps. They tied her hands behind her back. Like a common criminal, not like a queen, they put her in a cart, an open cart, so everyone could see her. The streets were full. Thousands of people, shouting, cursing, celebrating. Marie looked ahead. She didn't look at them. She kept her dignity, even now. Even at the end, the cart passed in front of the Tuileries, where she had lived, where her children had played. Now it was empty, abandoned. They arrived at the Place de la Révolution, the square of the revolution. In the center stood the guillotine, tall, wooden, the blade gleaming in the morning sun. Marie stepped out of the cart. She walked up the steps. Alone, no one helped her. At the top, she accidentally stepped on the executioner's foot. "Pardon, monsieur," she said. "I did not do it on purpose." Even at the moment of death, she remained polite. She remained a queen. They made her kneel. They put her head in the lunette. The wooden holder. The executioner pulled the lever. The blade fell and Marie Antoinette was no more. Her body was thrown into an unmarked grave. In a cemetery for criminals and prostitutes. No ceremony, no respect, nothing. For 22 years she lay there, forgotten. But in 1815, after Napoleon's fall, the Bourbons returned. They searched for Louis and Marie's bodies. They found them, and they moved them to Saint-Denis, to the royal crypt. Today, if you go there, you'll see their tomb, simple, white marble. 2 figures lying side by side. There is no gold, no jewels, just 2 names, and 2 dates. When I stand there, I always think, this woman was blamed for everything. The economic crisis, the famine, the corruption. As if one woman could destroy an entire country. But the truth is simpler and sadder. Marie Antoinette was a scapegoat. A foreigner, a woman, an easy target. She made mistakes. Yes, she spent money. She was naive. She didn't understand politics. But did she deserve to die? Did she deserve to be separated from her children? Did she deserve to be accused of incest with her own son? History was not kind to Marie Antoinette. Propaganda turned her into a monster, into a symbol of royal excess. But she was just a girl, sent away at 14, married to a stranger, hated by a nation, and killed at 37. Write in the comments. After hearing this story, how do you see Marie Antoinette now? Was she a villain or a victim? I am a historian, and I believe our duty is not just to record history. It's to understand it, to feel it, to see the humans behind the dates and names. Marie Antoinette was human, flawed, complex, real, and like all of us, she deserved to be understood. Not just judged. If this story moved you, please like and follow. And write in the comments what you learned from this story. Because history is not just the past. History is the mirror of today and the warning of tomorrow.